minutes. Kelly.
We'll check back in. Randy, thank you so much. In just a few hours, President Trump will make his first visit to the greater Cincinnati area since starting his second term. And new overnight, the White House sharing a schedule of his trip, which also gives us a better idea of what we can expect here. We have team coverage for you of all of this. WLWT News 5's Nicole Aponte live at one of the president's stops. Let's start with my co-anchor, Stephen Albritton, who is live for us at CVG. Stephen, what can you tell us?
Well, we did get a new schedule from the White House overnight. Does not give a specific time as far as Air Force One landing here at CVG, but we do have a better idea of where those events are going to be happening and what time those events will be happening. First up, he'll head up to Reading at 2:30. He's going to be visiting Fisher Scientific facility in Reading there before taking part in several media interviews that he has scheduled. Now, just before 4:30, he'll head back this direction towards Hebron. He's going to stop at Verst Logistics. That's just up the road here from CVG. The White House says the president will be joined by lawmakers and also business owners. Now, he's set to focus on the economy as well as his Trump RX website. That site offers price comparisons for prescription drugs. And then, of course, we'll be watching for any comments he makes on Iran. Lots of big developments from the Middle East from overnight. But his visit also comes during the middle of primary season. In Kentucky, there's a Senate race going on. There's a hotly contested congressional race. You see many of those commercials during our show here in the morning. You have Trump's pick, Ed Galrine, and the incumbent Thomas Massie, who's been serving since 2012, but he's also been a very open critic of the president.
I don't expect that there'll be an endorsement of Massie. It's just whether or not he talks about it and how he talks about the campaign. And Northern Kentucky seems to be sort of liking Trump, but also liking Massie. And so they're kind of in between on those pieces. And so I'm not sure that it behooves him to do one or the other or weighing in on the campaign.
So we'll see who the president mentions, how he mentions them in any of those speeches that he decides to give today. But one thing that's going to impact a good chunk of our region is anybody who has to use the I-71-75 corridor between Hebron and between Reading. Roads are going to be blocked off. There will be police keeping people off the roads. There will be many slowdowns on a lot of the feeder streets headed there as the president moves back and forth. All of that happening between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If you take the bus, there will likely be T-tours. So just plan ahead if you have to move around this afternoon. So let's go just down the street to Verst Logistics, talking to WLWT News 5's Nicole Aponte. There are folks, supporters of the president, who are prepared to wait overnight to catch a glimpse of the president and hear him speak directly. Let's talk to Nicole now. Nicole, what are you seeing out there?
Stephen, we're not seeing much, but we do know that there were some supporters who spent the night here, either in their cars or their lawn chairs, in hopes to see the president's arrival later on today. Now, we know that Verst Logistics is the only spot on President Donald Trump's agenda where people were able to sign up beforehand to watch the president speak during his visit to Greater Cincinnati later on today. Verst owns multiple warehouses around town, and their business revolves around sorting through complicated logistics. But this is the first time they've had to coordinate the visit of a sitting president. Trump is expected to tout his administration's work to secure investments in manufacturing during his speech. Some of the people waiting to see him traveled hours to get here.
This is what it's all about, is like just camping out and just showing our support. Because people will recognize you and they're like, yeah, Trump, they pull in and it's amazing.
Not everyone out here is planning to be in support of the president. However, we are aware of protests that are planned throughout the day today at the different stops that President Trump will make during his visit here. We'll, of course, be tracking those reactions. Stephen?
Nicole, thank you so much. So lots of supporters out there, and you'll see detractors along the movement route of the president this morning. So I cannot stress to folks enough, if you have to be on the roads between 12 and 5 in the afternoon, you're likely going to get held up in some way, shape, or fashion. Now, coming up in our next half hour, the politics of his visit. We're going to hear from both sides of the aisle ahead of President Trump visiting Greater Cincinnati. Reporting live from CVG, Stephen Albritton, WLWT News 5.
Stephen, thank you. A lot to cover on a very busy day, and we'll be checking back in with him through the morning. We are expecting